Welcome back to Mysterious Galaxies. I got my cup of coffee, and today we're stepping into the unsettling yet fascinating world Octavia Butler envisioned in her seminal work, Parable of the Sower. First hitting the shelves in 1993, this novel not only remains a cornerstone of speculative fiction, but has also grown only more poignant as its opening year, 2024, is at an end in our own timeline. Set against the backdrop of a dystopian California, the story unfolds amidst societal collapse and ecological disaster, painting a grim forecast of the future that eerily mirrors some of today's growing concerns. And when I say that Butler's vision of the United States is prophetic, it's not hyperbole. As you read the novel, you'll find the ultra rich buying up huge swaths of land to build fortified bunkers, exorbitant prices due to inflation, corporations so large that they brought back exploitative company towns, the oppression of women's rights, and an ultra right wing president running on a campaign slogan of Make America Great Again. Yep, you heard that right. Even his promises are similar: dismantle government programs, bring back jobs to the US, and ramp up fossil fuel productions. I'll link to a really interesting New York article that was first published in 2017 that discusses just how eerily similar Butler's vision is to reality. And I know that it's an awkward segue, but if you're new here, welcome to the channel. I'm Todd, and I review and discuss science fiction, fantasy, and horror novels. This review is a special one for me. I was first introduced to Parable of the Sower in undergrads, and I loved it so much I wrote my thesis on it. Since then, I've reread it 2 other times, and this marks my third full reread. I hope by the end of this review, you'll be interested enough to try it out for yourself. So, without further ado, let's dive in. The story is set in a near future America where environmental decay and economic collapse have eroded our societal fabric. Our guide through this crumbling world is Lauren Olamina, a teenager living in an increasingly rare gated community, one of the last refuges for the dwindling middle class. From inside of the safe confines of her community, Lauren watches as the world around her succumbs to chaos and lawlessness. Although the ultra rich shelter in fortified enclaves, the majority of Americans grapple with scarcity and violence on a daily basis. As a result of her mother abusing an unknown drug, Lauren is born with a rare and burdensome gift of hyperempathy, which she refers to as sharing. It's a condition that causes her to physically feel the pain and pleasure of others, a trait that proves both a profound burden and a unique lens through which she views the world. This heightened empathy connects her fate inexorably with those around her, often blurring the lines between personal and collective suffering. In a land overwhelmed by tragedy, Lauren's observations reveal not only the struggle for survival, but also the stark inequalities that define her world. The narrative deepens as Lauren's community inevitably faces breach and disaster, forcing her and the others around her to flee. Once on the road, the journey becomes clear: escape a Mad Max esque California and head north through Oregon and Washington towards Alaska, one of the North America's last havens. However, along the way, they encounter the stark realities of a country fragmented by wealth and power where human life is often expendable. The novel is a profound exploration of community and survival, challenging the reader to consider the foundations of human connection and resilience in times of immense external pressure. Lauren's journey and the formation of her ideas around Earthseed, a belief system that posits God as change, becomes a central theme of adaptation and hope in an era of uncertainty and upheaval. Parable of the Sower is a masterclass in building a vivid and immersive dystopian world. What makes this novel particularly compelling is Butler's unflinching portrayal of a society teetering on the edge of complete breakdown. Through Lauren's first person narrative and her journal entries, the reader is drawn deeply into a world where societal norms have disintegrated under the weight of environmental disaster and economic collapse. The power of Lauren's voice lies in its authenticity and urgency, making the stakes feel both more personal and immediate. The vivid descriptions of the United States are both compelling and disturbing. Butler does not shy away from depicting the brutal realities of this world, and these can include scenes of violence and poverty and desperation that serves as a powerful critique of systemic issues such as social inequality, corporate greed, and environmental neglect. These elements are not just background settings. They're integral to the plot and directly impact the characters' lives, forcing them to make difficult choices daily. However, the novel is not without its elements of hope. Amidst the darkness, Lauren plants seeds of community and resilience. Her hyper empathy, while a source of pain, also fosters a deep connection to those around her, compelling her to seek and build community as a means of survival. This juxtaposition of bleakness with the potential for renewal and change is what gives the novel its depth and keeps the reader invested. The formation of the Earthseed community provides a framework for understanding change, not as an element to fear, but as a vital force that can be directed and harnessed for the betterment of humanity. This complexity of narrative, where profound loss meets the potential for potential growth, makes Parable of the Sower a standout work. It challenges the reader to consider not only the consequences of our current trajectories, but also the possibilities that could emerge from the ashes of societal collapse. The novel's exploration of themes such as adaptation and community and resilience resonates with a powerful call to action, making it both a warning and a guide for future generations. Parable of the Sower transcends typical boundaries of dystopian fiction to serve not only as a narrative of despair, but also as a beacon of hope for regeneration and transformation. This novel is crucial for today's readers because it tackles prescient themes of climate change, social inequality, and the erosion of civil rights, all through the compelling and relatable voice of Lauren. As we witness our own world grappling with similar issues, escalating events, and widening gaps between the rich and the poor, debates over human rights, Butler's narrative resonates as a poignant exploration of what might await us if we continue on our current path. Butler skillfully uses the science fiction genre to challenge readers to think critically about our societal structure and our role within it. The novel encourages us to question the sustainability of our interactions with the environment and each other. Moreover, through the philosophy of Earthseed, Butler offers a unique lens to view change as a phenomenon to be guided and shaped by our actions. This philosophical approach invites readers to consider how adaptability and resilience can be cultivated to navigate and influence change positively. The story's relevance is amplified by its exploration of racial and social dynamics, making it a vital read for understanding the complexities of these issues in a speculative yet familiar context. Lauren's journey is not just a struggle for survival, but a quest to forge a new moral compass for a world in flux, which can inspire us to think about how we might redefine communities and connectivity in our own lives. In reading Parable of the Sower, you engage with a work that is both a reflection of our world and a speculative scenario of our future. It is a book that entertains while it educates and disturbs while it inspires. If you're looking for a story that offers deep, thoughtful engagement with pressing contemporary issues through the safe remove of speculative fiction, this book is an essential addition to your reading list. As we close the pages of Octavia Butler's Parable of the Sower, we're left to ponder the powerful messages woven throughout this prescient narrative. This book does more than just outline a dystopian future. It challenges us to reflect deeply on the trajectory of our own society. The stark realism Butler portrays is not meant to merely shock or dismay, it's intended to ignite a sense of urgency, prompting us to reevaluate the sustainability of our current paths and the potential for fundamental change. The hopeful vision that emerges through the doctrine of Earthseed, where change is the only God and adaptation is the ultimate survival skill, encourages us to not just endure, but to evolve. This philosophy invites us to reimagine our responses to global challenges, pushing us toward a more proactive and collective approach to shaping our future. Butler's narrative compels us to consider how resilience, community, and innovation can become the cornerstones of a society that thrives amidst chaos and uncertainty. Parable of the Sower is, without doubt, a crucial read for anyone drawn to speculative fiction that bridges the gap between fantasy and reality, offering powerful reflections on urgent real world issues. The book's relevance is underscored by its uncanny ability to mirror contemporary concerns, making it as timely now as it was when it was first published. Before starting the series, I will first warn you that it was never finished. Despite Butler's desire to write a total of 5 Parable novels, she found the series too depressing and instead wrote a vampire novel called Fledgling, which came out in 2005. A year later, sadly, Butler died unexpectedly at 58 years old when she fell and hit her head outside of her home north of Seattle. For those of you who have yet to explore the world Octavia Butler has so masterfully crafted, I urge you to delve into this narrative. For those of you who have, I'm eager to hear how the themes resonated with you and impacted your perspective of our world. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and discussions in the comments below. Until next time, keep turning the pages and questioning the world around you. And let's take Butler's insights as a catalyst for both personal and societal transformation.